Yo, so I saw this article and it seems interesting, so we'll take a look and then we'll talk about this other article because Lord of the Rings has related Holy Grail symbolism. Okay, so photographing a black hole. The article says in April 2019, a black hole and its shadow were captured in an image for the first time, a historic feat by an international network of radio telescopes called the Event Horizon Telescope, EHT. EHT is an international collaboration whose support in the US includes the National Science Foundation. The article says a black hole is an extremely dense object from which no light can escape. Anything that comes within a black hole's quote event horizon, its point of no return, will be consumed, never to re-emerge because of the black hole's unimaginably strong gravity. By its very nature, a black hole cannot be seen, but the hot disk of material that encircles it shines bright. Against a bright backdrop, such as this disk, a black hole appears to cast a shadow. This stunning image shows the shadow of a supermassive black hole in the center of Messier 87, an elliptic galaxy some 55 million light years from Earth. Okay, so they're talking about a black hole with a disk, so it seems to relate to the Holy Grail. Like with the Earth's magnetic field, the torus field, the Holy Grail is at the center. So every compass points to the Holy Grail.
Number 1, take her up to 90 feet, course 045.
Aye, aye, sir. Hello, Penny.
You'd better go right in.
Okay, so where the hobbits' dwarves are during Lord of the Rings. Where are Thorin Oakenshield's dwarves during the Lord of the Rings? Published in 1937, J.R.R. Tolkien's The Hobbit introduces Bilbo Baggins and his wise old wizard friend, Gandalf. The sheltered Bilbo is recruited by a company of 13 dwarves hoping against all odds to steal their treasure back from the watchful gaze of Smaug the dragon. Spending over a year on the road, Bilbo grows incredibly close to his sturdy new companions. But while the well-traveled hobbit returns in Tolkien's Lord of the Rings, the dwarves he befriended are more or less entirely absent. Taking place 60 years later, the Lord of the Rings marks Middle-earth's final stand against Sauron, as diverse races come together and face the Dark Lord. The trilogy's dwarf contingent, however, consists predominantly of Gimli alone. Surly and distrustful at first, especially towards the Fellowship's resident elf, Gimli becomes more cultured during his journey, fighting valiantly for Frodo and striking up an unlikely friendship with Legolas that lasts many years into the future. Given their history with Bilbo Baggins, it may seem odd that none of the Hobbit's dwarves lend Frodo a hand in The Lord of the Rings. Where are they, and why are the dwarves in general so scarce during Tolkien's trilogy? Of course, not all of Bilbo's dwarf pals escaped the Hobbit alive. Thorin Oakenshield, Fili, and Kili all perished during the climatic battle of 5 armies. Although they survived the Hobbit, Oin, Balin, and Ori all die prior to the Lord of the Rings, when a colony is sent from Erebor to reclaim the mines of Moria. Oin is killed by the Watcher in the water, Balin is shot by an orc during the final assault, and Ori makes it to Balin's tomb before falling, his corpse featuring briefly in the Fellowship of the Ring. It was Ori who left the written account of these events, which is read aloud by Gandalf before the orcs arrived to trouble Frodo and friends. This leaves 7 dwarves, not those ones, still alive when the Lord of the Rings begins, only one of which actually appears in the Lord of the Rings. Gimli's father, Glóin, accompanies Thorin in The Hobbit, and is later present at the Council of Elrond, where it is decided that Gimli will travel with Frodo as the dwarves' representative. Aside from Glóin, the other 6 living dwarves from The Hobbit are mostly unaccounted for by Tolkien, but fans can make an educated guess as to their movements during The Lord of the Rings. Although the dwarves don't join any of the major battles documented in The Lord of the Rings, they're fighting against Sauron on a different front, most notably the Battle of Dale. Taking place simultaneously to Mordor's assault on Gondor, Sauron sends his allies to attack the dwarves of Erebor, and both sides suffer grievous casualties. The battle keeps both Sauron's Easterling forces and the Lone Mountain's dwarves busy while the most decisive clashes happen elsewhere. The 7 surviving dwarves from Thorin's company likely fought during the Battle of Dale or remained behind to defend the Lonely Mountain. Elves and dwarves were both more active against Sauron than The Lord of the Rings suggests, but the story's focus on lesser races such as men and hobbits means those tales are told elsewhere.
Well, it began as you might expect, in a hole in the ground.
Okay, so in this opening scene from The Lord of the Rings, there's the 2 swords behind Bilbo making an X, like X marks the spot at the Holy Grail. Also in The Hobbit, when Elrond is looking at the map of the Lonely Mountain, there's the Elder Futhark runes on it. So on the mountain is the Dagaz rune, representing the Earth's magnetic field, the Taurus field, and this is where the door is located. So this is like Holy Grail symbolism. Okay, thanks for watching. Arigato. Matane. Bye bye.